All right, Mama. How you doing?
Good, Nick. Thanks for coming over.
You're welcome. So we're talking about Alzheimer's disease today.
Yes, Alzheimer's.
Which is an interesting discussion from someone who's young, but I'm learning it is somewhat genetic. And we had a little bit of an incident with Grandma recently. And so why don't we talk about your experience and why you're doing this, going down the journey?
Yeah. Well, as you know, your grandmother, my mother, is 96 years old. And she is living in an assisted living facility for about the last 6 years. And the last time I went to visit her last week, she did not recognize me. And that's very unnerving and brings up a lot of emotions, because this is the woman that raised you, and that raised me.
And me.
And you.
Yeah.
And that we all knew, and she was a vibrant, very social, energetic, very alive kind of a person who loved people and loved community. And now she's living in an apartment in the assisted living, and she's pretty isolated, not because of her social situation, but because of her mental situation. And when you lose your memories of all the years gone by, you lose just about everything. So it was an experience a profound experience for me, because my father also, her husband, had dementia. He died when he was in his mid-80s. Never got quite as bad as she is, but it is genetic. Her sister, my mother's only sister, my Aunt Lois, died of full-blown Alzheimer's. And she was in a home for 12 years and went. It was terribly sad what happened to her, because she also was a very vibrant, intelligent, well-educated person who followed a lot of the things that we think may help us avoid Alzheimer's, like having a good diet, healthy diet, exercise, being well-educated, using your mind. Both my mother and her sister did all those things, and were very social people. So it's an interesting journey to be on.
And you had recently shared a story about, well, there's two things. One is the discussion of Alzheimer's versus dementia. How do those relate to each other? What's the difference? And I'm just learning all this, so.
Well, and I'm learning also. I'm not an expert on this by any means, but I'm learning from the experts. And there are several different types of dementia, and there are several different types of Alzheimer's. I'm not a researcher. I can't tell you exactly what those differences are, but I can tell you this. I've been following a doctor who is a researcher and has written books on this subject. And one of the quotes that he uses in his book that was very profound to me was that we all know a cancer survivor, but none of us know an Alzheimer's survivor. And so I can't tell you in this short video exactly what the differences are between dementia and Alzheimer's, but they both tend to lead in one direction, and there's no coming back from that place where they lead. I don't want to go that direction, and I'm learning there are a lot of things that you can do to avoid Alzheimer's if you already have Alzheimer's or are beginning to show symptoms of dementia or Alzheimer's, that you can help yourself by doing certain things, lifestyle-wise, diet-wise, socially, that according to this man that I follow, can actually reverse Alzheimer's if you catch it early.
What are they considering early?
Well, he suggests that you get a full examination by 45 years old.
Okay, mentally.
Physical and mental. And then in the U.S.
I mean, 45 is, it sounds young.
It sounds young, but when in the U.S. the medical profession asks people to get a colonoscopy when they are when they're 50 years old, and then if it's clean, then in 10-year increments after that. He suggests 45 because Alzheimer's does not begin in your 50s, 60s, and 70s. It begins in your 20s, 30s, and 40s. You just may not see signs of it until 60s, 70s, 80s.
When it's worse.
And by that time, if you don't do anything to reverse it, it's too late.
Yeah.
So it's really good to have some tests run, look at your situation, take a test, and see if you have any signs of it.
Yeah.
Early.
Yeah.
Like any disease, if you catch it early, you have a much better outcome.
Yeah. Yeah. This is going to be an interesting journey.
Very interesting. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
I was feeling hopeless and rather pessimistic about my future, and I was looking into long-term health insurance because I have a family history of it.
Yeah.
And I decided instead my journey there took me to a healthier lifestyle, and resources that I found that have been very exciting for me.
Yeah.
Very exciting. I have so much hope now.
Yeah.
That I won't get it. I won't develop Alzheimer's, and if I do see signs coming, I'll have a plan. I'll have something to do, something to reverse it.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of. It's very exciting.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotional trauma that takes place when you're dealing with somebody who has it.
Oh.
And the individual, the family, what they go through. There's a lot of confusion around how to handle the individual, you know, how to interact with them. The things they say don't make sense, and the memory loss and the changes that take place, and you see it right in front of you, because you know the person deeply, and it can be kind of emotional. So I'm excited to explore some of this stuff with you, and that's why we're making this video today, is because we're gonna kind of reach out to the community and build a community, tap into the people who are searching for the same questions and going through some of these same experiences, because they tend to be rather similar. There's a slow decline until it becomes rather not slow, and then things get very serious and they escalate quickly. You have to sell. People have to move out of their homes. You have to get rid of their belongings, and they have to be cared for if those resources are available to the person.
Exactly.
And so not only that, we're left with how to process this internally as individuals when, you know, as we go through these different stages of life. And this is a disease that we're trying to discover and grow and explore the ways to get rid of the disease.
Right. And I think in the United States, we are so used to having the medical world be able to help us, to be able to fix it. If we have heart disease or diabetes or some cancer, there are things that the medical people can offer to us that work, that can help us. There is no cure for Alzheimer's. There is, that we have it right at this moment. We have medications that may slow the process, but even they don't make any claims that it will cure Alzheimer's. And so this is really groundbreaking information that I've learned, and I'm so excited to share it with an audience, and to learn together. I'm interested in sharing whatever information I have and listening to what information you may have. I'm very interested in what your questions might be, how I might help you answer those questions or find resources to answer those questions, but also to get my own questions answered. And so I think together we can make some good progress in this. And I'm doing this not only for myself, but for you and your brothers and sisters and all the young people that are coming up, that they can maybe make a difference in their lives now, so that they can have a lesser chance of ever developing dementia or Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
It's
an exciting time.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Leave us if anyone out there watching this has any thoughts or comments, or if you're watching this for yourself, maybe a loved one has some issues that are concerning. Leave some comments.
Please leave some comments. Ask questions. Give us a thumbs up. We'd welcome that.
And we'll keep you posted on more resources and videos to come.
Thank you, Nick.
All right. Thanks, Mom. Oh, I wasn't recording.
No way.